Now, why do most traders fail? Most traders fail not because they are dumb or they don't have a correct system in place. Most traders fail because they have a couple of fake beliefs. And behind me here on this whiteboard, we are going to take you guys through a roadmap from what it's like being a broken trader to how the inner mechanics work, what is true as a trader, and then eventually we will talk about what it's like being an evolved trader. Now, what a lot of traders think here is that they just need to be more disciplined in their trading, which to a certain extent is true, but if you take it too far, it can be a very large mistake. Now, what a broken trader also believes is that they just need one more setup, one more model, one more setup, one more way of looking at things, and then it will finally click, which will not be the case here. What they also think is that risk management only means using a stop loss. That is how I manage my risk, which is factually incorrect. Now, what a broken trader also thinks, this is a big illusion here. If I control my behavior, I'll control my results. We will talk about that shortly here. Now, what a broken trader also believes is that it's the system's fault. It's the model, it doesn't work. It's the certain type of entry mechanic I use, blah, 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 blah. All of these are fake beliefs. Now, what a broken trader does here, and this is what they always do, a broken trader is building strategies on top of emotional instability. Emotional instability being the key words of today's lecture. They're building all these rules, all these things on top of something that is already broken. Broken trader. Now, how do we get away from this as a trader? And how can we focus on the inner mechanics? How can we focus on becoming that person we want to be? How do we focus on what is true? Now, what is true? What is true is that discipline is your identity match. Your identity, who you are as a person, matches your behavior. So if you're this broken trader, right here who lives in this illusion, you need to focus on becoming the right person, because it's not your model that is not working. It's not just, oh, I just need one more setup and then I will be there. It's because you are not the person who you're meant to be at that point in time, because you can change it. We will talk about that over here. Now, you need to focus on who you are. Do I have the correct identity here? A person that can show discipline. A person that is emotionally stable. Things like that. Now, if it feels forced, it won't last. If you need to force yourself that you need to be disciplined, if you need to force yourself that, you will not make it as a trader. You need to become the person. It doesn't need to feel forced. It won't last over time. It will help you out the first month or the first 3 months, but over time, you will have an identity crisis as a trader. You need to become the person that is an evolved trader. Now, the nervous system is very important here. Nervous system, a good nervous system, someone who has his emotions under control, can execute with quality. Nervous system is execution quality. You cannot backtest emotional chaos to a certain extent. Why can't you do it? Obviously, you can write down certain things. I had this happen to me at work today. I had a falling out with a family member today, which resulted into this trade or that trade. But when it comes to real emotional chaos, the things that are deep inside of you, which can be childhood trauma, you want to prove the world wrong. You always want to be right. Situations and things like that, you cannot backtest that. You simply cannot. Now, this is very important here, very important. You cannot backtest the emotional chaos. So you need to dive into it. Because your body's state, your emotional state, leaks into the trade. It will leak into it. If you're angry, if you're sad, if you're overly happy, whatever the case may be, it will leak into your trade and it will change the outcome, most definitely. So your body's state leaks into the trade. And this is the most important one here. Even with a perfect system. Even with a perfect system, you can screw up your trade. Even with a perfect system. So when it comes to your body state, you need to have it under control. That is true for every single trader out there. Need is weakness. If you need anything in trading, if you need the trade, if you need the result, if you need to stop loss, if you need to take profit, whatever the case may be, if you need anything in trading, even with a perfect system, need is weakness. And you cannot show any weaknesses on the chart. You simply cannot do it. Need is weakness. And if you need the trade, you have already lost the trade right there. And there's no coming back from that. So if you need anything from the trade you are taking, if you need anything from it, close the trade. Close it, because even if the results are good, even if the trade hits your take profit, it's setting you up for failure in the future. Shadow sabotage. We will dive into the shadow later. Once we have a couple of videos here on the channel, we will dive into the shadow sabotage. But when it comes to unresolved emotion, things that are in the shadow, which is a very big concept from Carl Jung. When it comes to unresolved emotion, it becomes market behavior. Whatever lives inside of you, internally, it will shape the external. And that's not only with trading, that's with everything. You create the reality that is in front of you, the reality that you live in. So unresolved emotion becomes market behavior. So when you combine these two, you combine the things that a broken trader believes in, and you combine the inner mechanics from a trader that focuses on everything that is true. What is the outcome here? What are we working towards? You are not trading the charts. You are not. You are trading your ability to sit in uncertainty. That is what you're trading here. You are trading your ability to sit in uncertainty. And the person who can sit in uncertainty will become the evolved trader. Now, what does it look like to be an evolved trader right here? First of all, you don't have all of these fake beliefs. You understand the inner mechanics in trading. And you understand them deeply. You've studied them. So what is the way out? What is the way out to become this evolved trader? You want to track your emotional state before every trade. Very simple to do. Track your emotional state. Have a template for it. Have some questions you need to answer before you enter a trade. Yes or no questions. How do I feel? Open questions. Make it a checklist. Before you enter a single trade, you want to have 60 seconds, 1 minute of stillness before every trade. You need to train your mind in those 60 seconds because you want to be ready. You want to be ready if your stop loss gets hit. You want to be ready if your take profits get hit. You want to be ready if something changes inside the market, which changes the outcome of the trade. You want to be ready, and you do that by having 60 seconds of stillness before every trade. Now, what do you do in those 60 seconds of stillness? You want to think, and you want to think properly here. You want to train your nervous system like a sniper. You want to train your nervous system inside those 60 seconds. You want to be ready. You want to commit, and you want to execute flawlessly. You know what you're looking for, and you want to do it like a sniper. Now, training your nervous system like a sniper is a big edge. Stillness is a big edge. It's not only your system, it's not only the discipline, it's your identity, it's the way you view the markets. It's the calmness and the stillness inside of you, and you always want to focus on having a calm mind over a complex plan. Trading doesn't have to be really complex. You want to have a system that works, but more importantly, you want to have an identity that matches with your system and an identity that matches with the level of discipline you need. Because if it feels forced, it will not last. It needs to be you who is executing, not someone else. You want to be in control because nothing owns your state. That's where you want to be in trading. Nothing owns your state. Nothing. Nothing owns your emotional state, your mental state. Doesn't matter what it is. Nothing owns you. You want to own it. Now, when you do all of these things, so you get rid of these illusions, these fake beliefs, you focus on what is true, and you do the things I've written down here, what happens? You get this new identity. Now, what is the new identity that you need and that you want to become? You do not want to flinch under any pressure. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what the markets do. You do not want to flinch under pressure. And there's also no need for the outcome. The moment you need anything in trading is the moment you've lost. You don't need anything from these markets. Understand that. And when it comes to trading, putting down the actual trade, filling in the numbers, going through the trade itself, no tension. There must be no tension. Tension could be anxiety. Tension could be FOMO. Tension could be stress. It doesn't matter what it is. You do not want to flinch. You want to trade from everything that is true. What is true? The things I've listed down here. You want to think like a sniper because stillness is your big edge that you're looking for inside these markets. There must be no tension in your trade. Fully relaxed, fully capable, fully committed. Now, when you combine all of these things right here, this is what I call the mirror. The market is a mirror. And we're going to talk about that in the next couple of videos here. So tomorrow, when you are sitting behind your desk and you're going through your charts, remember the things I've said here. Because if you don't, you will fall back into these fake beliefs. And if you want to learn more about how these mechanics work, you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, you want to leave a like, and you want to leave a comment. And if you want to reach out to me or other people from the community, the Discord link is down below, as well as my Instagram. Stay safe, guys. Cheers.